Yeah. So I'm between your supper and myself. So, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Namaskar. I had an opportunity to meet President Kalam when I was in India with President Obama when I traveled with him on the occasion of the Republic Day Parade. He was the most humble man I ever met. So thank you, Deepak, for your kind introduction, and thank you for coming, and thank you for your warm welcome. A lot of things brings us together as a fellow Indian American with whom I share common history, common heritage, common bonds, a common cause, and a common goal. Our bonds are stronger than the differences that too often drive us apart. It is a distinct honor and privilege for me to be here today at this event to celebrate the life of the late President APJ Abdul Kalam and unveiling of his last book. I want to express my deep gratitude to BAPS and Deepak for inviting me to share my thoughts on Dr. Kalam and his truly amazing legacy. This book that is being unveiled today, that transcends my spiritual experience with Paramukh Swamiji, is a part of that legacy. I've not had a chance to read the book, but I promise I will shortly. Therefore, I will limit my remarks to a few thoughts about Dr. Kalam. So when I think of the 11th President of India, these three faces come to my mind: a unifier, a visionary and inspirational leader, a selfless public servant. Let me elaborate. Point number one, Dr. Kalam was a great unifier in death as well as in life. As we all know, there was a massive and unprecedented outpouring of grief at his death across India. Political party and leaders of all dispositions were united in the mourning the loss of Dr. Kalam. India, like the United States of America, is unfortunately a deeply divided country, politically speaking. The public mourning showed that the late president has left an indelible mark on the hearts and the minds and the soul of all Indians, of all castes, creeds, religion, race, background, and belief. Dr. Kalam bridged the country's religious fault line the way very few national leaders have done since Mahatma Gandhi. I see a great similarity in the way both Gandhi and Dr. Kalam practiced their respective faiths. Hinduism, in the case of Gandhi, and Islam, which I share the faith with Dr. Kalam. The book being unveiled here today that transcends my spiritual experience with Swamiji is among the many examples of Dr. Kalam's ability to bridge religious fault line. His acceptance of Swamiji as his spiritual guru and the relationship between the two as detailed in the book tell us that he was able to transcend the religious differences in a constructive, thoughtful, and genuine way. Point number two, Dr. Kalam was a visionary and inspirational leader. He first exhibited his visionary leadership skill in the halls of two India's most scientific institutions, the Defense Research and Development Organization and the Indian Space Research Organization. He headed India's missiles program and the project that developed both the Agni and the Prithvi missiles. As President, Dr. Kalam was an inspirational figure for more than a billion Indians. Time and again, he made it clear that his allegiance was to the people of India, not to the political parties, which is why we term him as a people's president. After leaving office, Dr. Kalam remained in public life through writing, reading, teaching, speaking, and a variety of initiatives. He spelled out his vision for India in a book he wrote, India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium. In his book, he wrote that in order for India to be a developed country, all Indians should dream of and work for it. Point number three, Dr. Kalam was a selfless public servant. Although he was in public life for more than 5 decades, Dr. Kalam lived with many minimum material wealth. He did not even own any property. He was known for his character, for his integrity. He did not accept gifts except in the form of books. When he received as gifts from foreign governments during his period as a president, it was tabulated and sent to the government treasury. President Kalam's is a uniquely Indian story. The newspaper boy who went to become the head of the greatest democracy in the world, India, the boy who grew up in a remote village in the tip of the country, who went on to spearhead the nation's nuclear and missiles program, who had the temperament of a sadhu and a man of great wisdom and a solid judgment, who led a very simple life. Of course, he was all these and more. It reminds me, the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote many years ago, lives of great men are remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. These lines hold true for Dr. Kalam. He did not live to see his dream for India to 2020, but it is all for Indians to work the realization of that dream. I firmly believe that his cause will endure and his dream shall never die. Dr. Kalam shaped India and India shaped Dr. Kalam. Dr. Kalam shaped our history. He determined our destiny. His principle will always guide us during the time of calm or the crisis. He was indeed a true treasure of the world. His life and legacy will live in bright lights and dark shadows, and those shadows will be everywhere. He inspired us to do well, but to do good. He also inspired us to be the best you can be. So thank you for listening to me. I wish you all the best. God bless you all.